I've been in the online spiritual space for about 11 years now, and I keep seeing the same thing over and over again. People saying, I have these gifts, but I don't know what to do with them. I just want clarity. I just want to understand why I'm here, why this keeps happening. And if anyone gets that, trust me, it's me. Because I have said those very same things myself. We keep asking, what am I doing wrong? But the truth is, we're not doing anything wrong. What's actually happening is we're not fully seeing ourselves in the role we're playing in our own patterns. And even that can get slippery. Because another popular piece of advice is, you create your own suffering. And yes, sometimes that is true. But not in the way people throw it around as if it's that cut and dry. Because if you're already exhausted, already stuck, already trying your best, the last thing you need is to start blaming yourself. What I've seen in myself and in working with others is this. We want answers from someone else. We want to run into the person, the message, or the video that shows us what we haven't been able to see. We want that reflection that activates something in us. We want to say, the universe made me run into them. And because our minds are magnets, literally, we do end up finding whatever we're seeking and believing. But then what happens? You take that reflection and you try to become it. You take off one identity and put on another one that feels more aligned. Like, this is who I really am. But all you did, really, was switch costumes. Because the mind is sticky. You can agree with something all day long until your body disagrees. And the moment you have a bad day, everything comes back. All the patterns, all the reactions, all the parts you thought you had healed. We're not meant to do life alone. We do need mirrors. We do need reflection. We do need help. But here's where it becomes disorienting. We keep going back to the mirrors instead of coming back to ourselves. We say, I don't want to be told what the fuck to do. We do what we want. But at the same time, please tell me what to do. We want freedom and instructions. We are all walking contradictions, and there's no getting around that. Most of our confusion stems from believing that we're not. So what do? We seek. We search. Why am I like this? Why does this keep happening? And in that moment, we give our power away. Because the second you start looking outside yourself for answers, you separate from your own truth. And this is especially true for people who have lived more sheltered or isolated lives. Because when you finally get around people, communities, ideas, it feels activating, exciting, expansive. And that's not wrong. It's important. But here is the caution. You can, unintentionally, fall right back into your old patterns, just in a new environment. You can repeat the same pattern in a completely different room. It's not wrong to seek help. It's not wrong to use mirrors. That's how we uncover parts of ourselves. The mistake is we forget to include ourselves in the equation. Even when something feels like a full body fuck yes, you have to be able to pivot. Because your truth can change, and your mind will fight that. It'll say, but this was right. This was the thing. And you have to trust yourself anyway. Now, here's an important polarity. If your truth has been questioned, shut down, redirected, dismissed, gaslit, then yes, you may benefit from or even require external validation at times. You may need a safe reflection, and that doesn't mean you're failing or falling back into old patterns. It means you're learning a new calibration, and sometimes you need help steadying until you've fully embodied self-trust. You're allowed to use mirrors. But here's the key. You don't usually call someone when you feel nothing. You call someone when you feel something you don't want to be true. Because most people, they do trust what they're feeling. They just don't like what it's saying. We need both connection and solitude, reflection and integration. And let's talk about comparison for a second, because that doesn't go away. We learn by observing. We watch. We mirror. That's human. The problem is not that we compare. The problem is what we do with the comparison. Because we use comparison to measure ourselves instead of using it to see ourselves. We look at someone else's clarity, their confidence, and instead of asking, what is this showing me about me? We ask, why am I not there yet? And that's where we lose ourselves. Because now you're not orienting to your own signal. You're orienting to someone else's timeline. And then you wonder why everything feels off, even when it looks right. So if you're hearing all of this and something in you is recognizing yourself, not just understanding it, but feeling it, like in your cells, then this is where working with me may actually make sense. If you're looking for someone to give you the answers, I'm not that person. But if you're ready to see what you already feel, without filtering it, without softening it, without second guessing it, then yes, we're aligned to work together. And I have created a new offer specifically for that. How I work with people isn't open-ended. It's intentional, and it's contained, and it's revealing. This isn't about staying in a loop with me. It's about being willing to feel yourself fully with some reflective help, and then going back to yourself. You don't need someone to lead you, but there are moments where having someone reflect you clearly changes everything. Sometimes what's needed isn't more answers. It's accurate reflection and being met exactly where you are. And that allows you to finally see and trust yourself. So, the way to work with me is a 3-session container. 3 sessions within 90 days. Enough space to actually see the pattern, interrupt it, and shift it. And if 3 sessions feels like too much right now, there's also a place to begin. A single session, a space for reflective truth and being seen and met. But again, I am not your solution. I will not sell you me as your answer. What I offer is reflective truth. I am the mirror you already feel, especially the parts you don't want to believe or that you've been taught to second guess. And because of that, I don't believe in constant dependency. So if you work with me, it looks like this. Plain and simple. Up to 3 sessions within a 90-day period. Between sessions, you go back to yourself, you integrate, you listen. And yes, In your alone time, there will most certainly be moments where you feel like you don't need, where you feel like you need support, where you don't think you can do it on your own, where you feel like you need that validation. That does not mean you failed. That does not mean you don't trust yourself at all. It means you're learning. It means you're human. It means you're still showing up and trying your best. Reaching out for support is not the same as dependency. Defaulting to others instead of yourself is. But it's confusing when you're still gaining your steadiness. You will have bad days, moments where everything feels like it collapsed. That doesn't undo your growth. That reveals where you're still learning how to stand firm in your sovereign self. I ask you to feel into this. Just feel into it. Urgency and alignment are not the same thing. If something feels like I have to do this or I'm screwed, that's pressure. But if something feels like I know this is right, even if there's still a little bit of doubt, that's alignment. True alignment doesn't rush you or create fear of missing out. But even that isn't one size fits all. The point is learning your signal and what it's actually telling you. If we work with each other to see what we can't see, but we return to ourselves to know what's true. You don't need another identity. You don't need another voice to follow. You need to stop betraying yourself every time something external resonates. So as always, you're invited to walk with me. And now there's a doorway to work with me. But only if you trust that it will lead you back to yourself.